Welcome, everyone. Today we have something truly remarkable for you. Labour MP Lisa Nandy gets her backside handed to her properly by Welsh farmer Gareth Wi Jones. What Labour is doing to farmers is not only cruel and heartless, but also counterproductive, bad for the country, and infinitely stupid. In today's video, we'll dive into this interaction and also cover all the latest news from across the country. But before we get started, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with friends. Now, without further ado, have a watch.
Well, we've got a cabinet minister here, Lisa Nandy, feeling utterly betrayed and clearly mentally close to the edge, lots of farmers, because of the situation before you came into government, and now you're going to include many family farm estates in inheritance tax.
Yeah, well, look, it hurts to hear that, and I genuinely don't, my heart does go out to the gentleman, Gareth in beautiful North Wales there. I have members of my family who are farmers, I have constituents who are farmers, but the reality is what we've done is we've made sure that any inheritance tax up to £1 million will be estates up to £1 million will be protected, with exceptions as well up to £3 million. One of the challenges that we know has existed for farmers, particularly young farmers, is that you've got very wealthy individuals who've bought up large amounts of agricultural land in order to avoid inheritance tax, which has pushed up land prices, which has also increased the pressure on farmers. We're not just taking this decision lightly, but what we are doing alongside that is introducing a new deal for farmers. Part of that is resolving the red tape issues with the EU so that farmers are better protected and supported. We're also introducing schemes across government to make sure that we're using our purchasing power, which is considerable, to support British farming. There are lots of things that we're doing to protect farmers. And I would just say to Gareth, I appreciate I'm not going to win him over on this programme, but do judge us by our actions, judge us by how you feel in 5 years' time.
Well, Gareth, do you want to respond?
I'm judging you by your actions already, with the promises that came and what you've delivered. This is going to be the last nail in the agricultural coffin. This country is going to need farmers once, twice, or 3 times every day. Food security should be at the top. You should be looking at investing into agriculture to build the better Britain on our bellies, making sure the next generation has healthy, nutritional food. But what you're doing is you're going to push people out to the industry. And my family's been on this land for 375 years. It breaks my heart to think that I could be the last generation here. I want to pass this down to my boys and make sure that they can make a living. Right. You're taking that away from me,
Gareth,
and away from thousands of farmers in the United Kingdom.
Before I get Lisa to respond on that final point, particularly shame on you, Gareth, how much support, is there widespread support for this strike that you are joining?
Unbelievable, and it's not just widespread. I've got quite a big social media following, and a lot of people have been on board this morning, and a lot of the general public know there's going to be food inflations around the corner, and the poorer people, the people that Labour should be protecting, are the ones that won't be able to afford the food, because we're going to have to put a 20% hike on our foods.
All right, well,
They have to listen. Yes. They have to listen for once to the people that are on the coalface. Don't do what Margaret Thatcher did to the miners. Protect your farmers going forward. We need you to steer our agricultural sector for food security, to make sure we can feed the poorer people in our society.
All right, Gareth, let Lisa... Right, well, that is a pretty impassioned plea to you there, and shame on you.
It absolutely is. And Gareth, can I just say to you that, first of all, we did introduce a funding in the budget that is the biggest amount of funding ever committed by government for food security and nature, which we think will help significantly. But second of all, I would just say this, that those comments that you alluded to that were made by somebody who was last a Labour advisor when I was a teenager, I think are absolutely abhorrent. I come from a mining community. The damage that Margaret Thatcher did to our community, willfully and vindictively inflicted on us, we're still dealing with today. We would never seek to visit that on anybody. This is about trying to get our country country back on track. We have inherited a difficult situation. You've just heard the opposition spokesperson telling you that he could find £8 billion worth of savings, but nowhere near the £22 billion black hole that we've inherited just in this year alone. We've got to start turning that around. We've got to do it in order to support people like you. And we will listen and we will work with.
What are your thoughts on this conversation? Let me know in the comments below. This conversation reflects a deep divide between the perspectives of the Labour MP, Lisa Nandy, and Welsh farmer Gareth Wi Jones, showcasing a highly emotional and complex debate about the future of British farming, food security, and the government's policies. This exchange highlights the tension between government policies and the real-life impacts on farmers. While the government's proposals aim to address broader economic issues like inheritance tax reform and food security, farmers like Gareth raise valid concerns about the sustainability of agriculture and rising costs. The conversation shows the need for more balanced policies that protect farmers' livelihoods, ensure food security, and consider the wider socioeconomic impact. It's clear that further dialogue and collaboration are necessary to secure a sustainable future for farming. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more.